Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Vinland Saga Season 2 episode number 15 reaction. Okay, the previous episode, Gardar and Arnheid, both of them meet in a very, like difficult situation. Gardar was like, oh, you're here. Come on, let's go back home. And he was talking about his son. And obviously Snake was there, so Snake definitely wouldn't let him get away like this. And also the fact that Gada took the life of one of his men is also something pissed Snake off. So Snake and Gardar had a brief battle. Obviously Gardar is way weaker in this situation. He has been running and fighting. Probably doesn't have had any food. So I'm Snake was pretty easily able to kind of subdue him. Gada was strong though. He was his swings had power in it, but Snake had technique, and he easily knocked him out. Obviously, Arnheid is heartbroken, and you can see how Arnheid later on tells us the story of what happened. Basically, what happened is, she and Gardar had a very happy family, had a little child, and Gardar had to go to fight for I think iron, yeah, iron had been found in the marsh. And at first I was like, oh, is this because of money that he went? But no, I little by little realized as she told the story that it was not completely because of money he left. He left because there was a thing that was happening, whereas if someone else got their hands on the iron, it would have become a bigger deal in the future. They probably would have been in a very bad situation. That person would probably oppress them, and stuff would have happened. So they had to go there to fight. So this was kind of inevitable. He really didn't go off to chase for before chase money. There was a proper reason, but still, unfortunately, the Vikings came and just took Arnheid and sold her off. And probably later on, Gadar also got sold off. So yeah, and now they've met in this situation. Now Einar wants to help her, but she's like, no, this is a storm. My child, they took my child away, but now I have another child in my belly, and I want the storm to pass away. I'll just stay here and not do anything. So later on, we get to see Svenkel kind of talks to Arnheid and tells her that if we just let the storm pass away, it will leave scars. So are you ready for that? So in the end, Arnheid leaves, and I don't know what. It seems like she's going to go and try to meet Gardar, but let's see. Let's see where this goes. All right, episode number 15. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, oh, it starts with the opening. All right. Okay. Oh, is he? Has he awoken? Yeah, he has awoken. Storm. Oh, Storm. Oh, she's on her way to meet him. Now, my guess would be Einar would somehow probably come to her aid. I don't know how, but what the? Damn, that was loud. Hmm. What? Why is she wanting a share? Alright. Oh boy, here we go. Hmm. Oh. Oh boy. There you go. You have to walk. Great. Oh boy. Wait, isn't this is Badger, isn't it? Yeah. Where, where's Fox? Oh, Fox probably went with him. Wow. Great. Oh, there he is. Oh boy. Oh my god. Come on, there's people here. Come on. This typical, you know. Oh, they. Oh my god. No. Great. Yeah, the fact that he actually went. Yeah. And I don't think he even knows what happened to his son. He probably thinks that he's. Well, it's too late. Raining again. Hmm. Well, it's not wrong. What's going? Oh my god, I feel like something's going to happen. Oh no, oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. Has he? Yeah, I knew something like this is going to happen. Oh my god. Oh, I knew something was going to happen. The way he was so quietly just sitting there. He's dead. Like, he got his throat. Oh my god. He's making things so much worse now. Now what? Snake will be pissed. Like, what is he thinking? Oh my god. Alright, he's dead. Okay, now people might come out. That was a huge commotion. The only thing that can do now is run. Take the sword and, yeah, cut him off and run. Like, in no way are they going to forgive them now. Oh my god. Oh god, this. I. Like, Gadar might have been a very nice dude, but what he did here was foolishness. Not only is he screwed, he also dragged in his wife with him. Like, he might have been a really good person when he was together with Arnheid, but now he is gone completely. What he did here just was literally dragged Arnheid into his misery. Now Snake is going to hunt him down. I don't know what's going to happen to Arnheid now. Damn, he just lopped off his hand. The rain washed the blood away. Grease. Are they like running? Oh my god. Look what you've done. Like he apologized to Arnheit for doing that, and then he did the same thing again in a different way. He brought he brought Arnheit into more misery and danger. He apologized for doing that and again made the same mistake. If you want to run on your own. Why are you bothering involving your wife in this? Oh my god. I thought that Einar and Thorfinn might go with her or help her out or something, but yeah, like they don't even know where she is now. Oh my god. Oh, he was keeping an eye on him. Oh, that's why. I was wondering. I was like, Einar is not a type of person to sit down. So, oh, that's why. Okay. And that. All right. For freedom to be taken away by violence. Mm. Mm. True. Like imagine watching season 2 first and then going back to season 1. Mm. Does he? I don't know. Tough question. We still don't have an answer to that, even now. Yeah, that's true. So if we are able to stop war, yeah, line between a warrior and a slave trader. True. Hmm. Yeah, like they literally think the Vikings think, yeah, that fighting and dying on the battlefield takes you to Valhalla. That's how they think. So obviously they don't think that fighting is bad. Hmm. Yeah, like Thor's as well. Thor's also realized that. Mhm. Oh, by the yeah, the ghost of his past. Yeah. Mm. Mm. You have to make some changes. Mm. Yes. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Little by little, you know. Mm. Yeah, good question. Yeah, this is one question that I always had. Like, how is he going to defend? Let's see what Thorfinn thinks about this. Yeah, but how? How can you? Vinland towards Vinland. Vinland. Wait, who's this? Oh, this is that girl, isn't it? The girl that Thorfinn met in season one. Is that her? You know, like the one who brought food to him? There you go. There's a place where there's no wars and plenty of beyond the reach. There you go. Vinland. Hmm. There, well, Leaf is coming here, so that's good. You can get more answers from him. That is also true. Oh my god, here we go. Yeah, they're trying to find. They're thinking that oh, Arnheid is here. Yeah, they're going to search the whole barn. Wait, is he really? I don't think he's here. Like they were. Yeah, he's not here. Oh, good God. Oh, yep, he realized that. Gardar, yeah, and where did she run? Like I'm wondering. Oh my God. Hmm. Okay, that is it. So that was this episode, episode number 15. Okay, so in this episode, first of all, one thing I have to say that like Gardar, like like the main thing to talk about in this episode is Gardar. He like here's the thing. Obviously, what has happened to him, his wife, everything is definitely wrong. Like yeah, nobody deserves that. He also made a mistake where he left her and just went on his own mission. And after coming back, obviously, he found probably wasn't able to find Arnheid, and he probably also got sold off as a slave. So everything that happened was something that never should have happened. But that is what happens in this time period and in here and in this situation. Like similar thing happened to Einar, similar thing happened to Thorfinn. Everyone goes through this, and you cannot really blame someone about what happened to them. It's the fault of the society, this time period, how people like do their things. Like slave, like slaves were actually like a part of like people's lifestyle here. So you cannot really blame someone particular that oh you're the one at wrong here. You're the reason why everything like this is happening. You cannot really say that. This is the fault of this time, of the all the people who made this whole slave trading and like all these things. Like they're at fault. No one in particular is at fault. It's a fault of the time and how society looks at and like does its thing. So, so obviously, because of that, Arnite and Gardar is going through so much sadness and so much, like tough times and everything. So if you kind of keep that, just if you don't really pay much attention to the sad part, to looking at the positive things, you can say that Arnite was having an okay life over here. You know, she was here, she was doing her thing. She was, obviously she's a slave, but she was content with her life here. And then Gadar came in, and again, Arnheid's life just became completely filled with turmoil. And the fact that Gardar came in, apologized to her, and the next thing he did is do the same thing that he did before is something that I just hated. In this episode, this is one thing that I really did not like, is that he literally dragged his wife into war. His wife came here just to take a look at him. After everything that happened, she came here to attend to his wounds. And what he did is he apologized for the wrong that he did before, and literally after apologizing did the same thing again. Like, why? Like, I can understand that he wants to go back. Obviously, like I said, whatever happened to them, nobody deserves that. But that is what happens in this world, in this time. You cannot blame anyone particular for what has happened to them. It's the fault of the society here. So what happened to them is obviously wrong, and that never should have happened to them. But he literally came here and dragged his wife back into a messier situation just after apologizing to her for the wrong that he has done. I cannot agree with what he did here. If he wanted to run, if he wanted to go away, you should have left your wife out of this. As soon as she came here to tend to your wounds, you definitely should have been like, all right, you know what, she's here, let me not do any type of make this situation even worse. Let her leave, then I'll try to run away. If you want to run away, if you want to do take any type of reckless thing, do something reckless like this, you should have done it on your own. Don't drag in your wife in this whole mess that you created again. I really hated this part where just after apologizing he does the same thing again, and this is in no way acceptable. Now what, now Arnheid is kind of mixed in this situation. Now after if by some way Gadar is caught again, obviously Snake will kill him then and there. That's set in stone. Arnheid will also face punishment now. And the fact that Snake will kill Gardar in itself is a huge punishment to Arnheid. She'll be devastated. So he's just making from one messy situation, he just jumped to another messier situation. Not only alone, but he actually dragged in Arnheid with him this time. I don't know what's going to happen from here onwards. Obviously I'm pretty sure I can 100% say that Gardar will die. I can say that I'm 100% sure that Gardar will die. In no way is it possible that he's running out of this alive. But the one thing that I'm more concerned about is what's going to happen to Arnheid here. She is going to be in a very messy situation. Not only and the fact that Gardar will die, and he'll probably die in front of her. I feel the fact that he's definitely going to die, and he might actually die in front of her, is something that is also Arnheid is probably going to get destroyed by that. So he's bringing double the misery for Arnheid. By dying himself is going to cause misery to Arnheid, and then whatever punishment that she'll have to face is also another source of misery. It will become a source of misery for her. So double the misery she's getting just by associating herself with him again. Like, couldn't he just think that, you know what, my wife is here, let me not bring more misery to her, and let me just keep quiet for now. After she goes, if I want to run, then I'll run. Couldn't she have thought of that? Like, why? Is it like, is he that, like, you know what, I feel like he's probably mentally very, like, like, he wasn't like okay. Like, he was constantly talking about how he wants to start over again, and like, what does he think? He's some kind of superhero that he, once he gets out of this like, bindings, he can just take Arnheid and just whoosh away, into the sky to somewhere else. In no way is it possible for him to run away from here. Like this place, there's no horses. What are they going to do? Run? They don't have any food. He himself is like, injured. Arnheid probably cannot really like, take like, him and run away. So what are they going to do now? Obviously Snake with his huge army of men is definitely going to find him. And and I think this is an island, isn't it? Like Kettle's Island, I think they call it. I'm not exactly sure. If this is an island, like I said, I'm not exactly sure if this is an island. If this is an island, then they're even more screwed. So what now? Like, I had to like, talk about this. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but at least in my judgment, I feel like what Gardar did here was the epitome of selfishness. What he did here, like, yeah, I don't like, I know he's probably mentally very disturbed and everything, and like I went through a lot of things, and probably he's not thinking correctly, and did it in a like, moment of in the heat of the moment. Like, that might be the case, but that doesn't change the fact what he did was selfish. And he just dragged his wife into this whole mess that he created, and now Arnheid is going to face the maximum consequences of this. Like he's not going to face any consequences. All that's going to happen to Gardar is that he's going to die. That's it. Once he dies, it's over. That's it. He's dead. Everything Arnheid will have to face, the person who is left behind will have to face everything now. That is Arnheid. The whole fact that he's dead, that thing is going to it's going to affect her so much mentally, and any other punishment that she'll get. So the one who is going to be facing the consequences is going to be Arnheid by the end of it. He's just going to die. Snake is probably going to kill him as soon as he finds him. Like, then and there. He's going to be dead. He's not going to be facing any consequences. Once you die, it's over, That's it. The one who will be facing everything is Arnheid. The one who just wanted to help him out, and having so much on her plate, she still went out of her way to go and tend to his wounds, and this is how she gets repaid. Like, I don't know. Like, at least in my way of thinking, in my judgment, I feel like what Gardar did here was selfish, foolish, and so many more. Like, he didn't think of anything that he didn't even think was going to happen. Like he should have at least thought about Arnheid here. Like, what I'm going to do is going to probably bring consequences to Arnheid. Let me not just do what I'm thinking of doing. He could have thought of it like this, but no, he had to do it. He had to take that step, and now he just dragged in Arnheid into his whole mess. And oh boy, this is not okay. And I can 100% say that Gardar is going to die. If he actually doesn't die, I'll be the most surprised, but I'm 100% sure that he's going to die. Snake, as once he gets him, he's just going to lop his head off. I am pretty much sure about it. And then everything else, Arnheid will have to face, the sorrow of his death and any other punishment that she's going to be getting. Yeah, great, fantastic. All right, so this episode we begin with Arnheid, walking, in the night time, going towards the camp where Gardar has been kept, and you can see that Snake and what's his name? Fox. Yeah, Snake and Fox are kind of talking about something. They were saying how the mistress has called them, probably because of they were talking about the reward of 3 horses and stuff, and the mistress wants a cut out of it or something. Like, and Snake is pissed off. Snake is like, ah, that greedy old hag. Like, like he wants a cut out of this. Like, like obviously he's very, what can I say? Like, it's correct. Like, it's very natural of him to get pissed off at this, because what the hell did the mistress did? She was probably just sitting down and reading some books, or I don't know, like sleeping, while all of them were like, doing all of these, like, like crazy things, had to go and stop Gardar, and like, one of his men died in that process, and now this mistress, she's suddenly like, oh, I want a cut out of them. Like, what nonsense. Like, yeah, I'm pretty, like, I'm like, Snake is very rightful to get pissed off about this. So he's pissed off. He's like, what the hell? Like, I'm not going to give any type of like, cut out of this whole thing. And he's like going with Snake, not Snake, sorry, Fox, to meet the mistress. And on the way, Arnite comes in, and obviously Snake is like, nope, you're not going anywhere. Like, and Arnite is like, but like, all I want to do is just go and tend to his wounds, like nothing else. Like, you can stay beside me, like, just in case if I try anything, like, like try to unbind him or something. Like I'm not going to do anything like that. So, but obviously Snake knows what Gardar can do. So multiple times he was like, nope, you're not going anywhere near him. And he also, like, like later on Badger comes in, and he also tells Badger that, Badger, keep an eye on her and take her back to Spherical, and do not let her go near Gardar. And multiple times he said, and he left with Snake to go and talk to the mistress. And yeah, everything goes wrong from this point onward. So Badger here, like, Arnite like looks at Badger, and Badger is obviously blushing. He's like, and when Arnite is like, please, can you take me to my husband? All I want to do is tend to his wounds and nothing else. You can stay beside me, and just in case if I try to, like, unbind him, or like, loosen his like ropes. And yeah, Badger was like, yeah, sure. There you go. Everything goes wrong from here onwards. Now, this is another thing. Like, what Snake did here is, like, he did not want to let, like, he could have easily said, like, all right, you know what, fine, go ahead, meet with Gardar. And I'm pretty much sure that the reason why Snake did not allow Arnite to go and meet with Gardar was not because he thought that Arnite would untie him or something. No, I doubt that was the reason. I'm pretty sure Snake knew that Arnite is not going to do anything like that. The reason why he did not let Arnite go and meet Gardar is because of Gardar. Because once Gardar sees Arnite, he might do something. That is the thing that he was probably kind of wary about. And it was not because of Arnite's, like, like, I'm pretty sure Snake knew that Arnite would not do anything to the rope or try to, like, unbind him and run away. Because Arnite has that amount of sensibility and, like, maturity. She knows that in no way are they getting out of this situation, and if she does anything like that, not only Gardar will get punished, she might get killed, she also will face consequences, which is something that she definitely doesn't want. All she wanted to do was to tend to his wounds. Arnite knows that. Arnite's hands has that type of, like, sensibility. She knows what's going to happen. So I'm pretty sure Snake knew that. The main reason why Snake did not want her to meet Gardar was because of Gardar. Like, he might go crazy after he looks at Arnite. He might try to do something rash, and that is exactly what happened later on. And either way, Badger is like, all right, sure, let's go. And it's crazy how, like, like, when everyone's like, oh, what is this woman doing here? And he's like, oh, like, a snake told us, like, gave her permission to treat to Gardar's wounds. Obviously, as soon as he brings Snake's name, everyone's like, all right, sure, whatever. The boss gave the permission, so yeah, go ahead. And yeah, Gardar is there, and Arnite goes and kind of looks at him. And at first, it seemed as if, like, Gardar was pretty, like quiet about everything, and he's like, oh, like, I'm sorry, Arnite, let's go home, like, like, whatever I did before, I was at wrong, and all these things. And he was kind of like, looked very remorseful and everything. And obviously the peanut gallery, like few of them from the behind, like over there, they were kind of making fun of the whole situation, and like just teasing, mocking them. Either way, here Gadar apologizes about what he did before. He says that I shouldn't have left you guys alone. From here on and onwards, you and our child, I'm not going to do anything that is going to put you guys in danger. And I apologize for whatever I've done from here on. Wait a minute. Did he say that? Just a minute. Just a minute. What does he actually say? Okay, never again. Wait, no, I was wrong. Just a minute. Okay, let me properly read this part. I'm sorry, because there's a reason why I'm reading this part. I'll never leave your side or Hjalti's again. Okay, he says that he's not going to leave their sides. Okay, never again. I'm sorry, I was wrong. There you go. Forgive me, Arnheid. Okay. Is there anything else? No. Okay. What if he said something like, I'm not going to put you in danger? I would have immediately retorted here by saying, like, literally after saying that he put her in danger. But no, he didn't really say anything like that, so I cannot retort back by saying that. But still, he said something like, I'm not going to leave your side, kind of technically, which means that I'm not going to put you in any danger, or I'm not going to leave you alone. Yeah, if you think about it like that, I'm not going to leave you and Hjalti alone, kind of means that I'm not going to put you to any danger. Yeah. And the funny thing is, the ironic thing is that he literally does that after saying this, after asking for forgiveness, apologizing. He literally does that, and that's so bad. I just cannot. All right. So Anna is obviously crying, and she's just weeping, and kind of her head is down like this, and not Aina, sorry, Garda's head is also kind of down, and seeing all of this, everyone's like, it's just whatever, that's no fun. Badger, you look after them. You're the one who brought her here, so yeah, you're the one who's going to look after them. Let us just go in. Another mistake here. They actually left. If I'm pretty sure if they were here, everyone was here, they probably could have restrained Gardar. But everyone just left to go inside. This is the second mistake. The first mistake was letting Arnheid go in, because as soon as Gardar would see Arnheid, he's definitely going to do something crazy. That's the first mistake. The second mistake is these guys leaving Badger alone and going inside. There's a third mistake as well which happens, which is something that Badger does after this, which is that after this happens, Badger is like, my only flaw is that I cannot say no to women. Time is up. Everything is over. Come on, Arnheid, let's go. And he kind of touches Arnheid, and trying to take her away from Garda, and kind of leans in. Immediately Garda takes action, and this is the third mistake that happened here. Badger trying to get Arnheid away from here and leaning in so close to Garda. Garda just jumps up and grabs his throat with his teeth and just tears it off. And there you go. That's it. So these three mistakes were the reason why Garda was able to get out. Number one, letting Arnheid go and meet Gardar. Number two, those guys leaving and letting Badger alone here to keep guard on them. And number three, Badger actually leaning in so close to Gardar that he could literally just jump up and grab his throat. There you go, it's over. Gardar jumps up and grabs his throat and just he was telling Arnheid to cut off his robe. Arnheid didn't do anything like that. And he literally just did everything on his own. He just jumped up, grabbed his throat, and just just pulled his throat out. And you can see Badger, even in his little amount of life that was left, he takes out his sword to try to attack Gardar, but he falls down and he's dead. So there you go. Now at this point, obviously, there's nothing else you can do. At this point, now that you have done this, you have to commit. So I was like, you know what, at this point all they can do is run, because if they stay here, I feel like if Arnheid actually stayed here, maybe Arnheid would have been able to get away from any type of nonsense that would follow after this, any type of more messy situation that would follow after this. But in no way is Arnheid going to leave Gardar alone in his time of danger. In this situation, in no way Arnheid is going to be like, all right, you know what, you did this, you deal with it. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just going to go away. In no way is Arnheid saying that, because she's not that type of a girl. She is someone who, after seeing this type of crazy situation, seeing that Gardar is in trouble, she is definitely going to help him to get out of this place, because if Snakes gets him, it's over. So Arnheid, like I said, if Arnheid actually distanced herself here in this situation, maybe Arnheid could have gotten out of this whole messy situation. They would have gone for Gardar and probably killed him. But in no way is Arnheid doing that, because we know, like, she's not that type of a person. She loves Gardar even now, and in this type of a situation, in no way is she leaving Gardar alone. So yeah, immediately Arnheid has nothing else to do. She takes the knife and cuts off Gardar's ropes, and yeah, they run away, and everyone kind of got alerted here. They were coming out to stop him, but they probably got slashed and killed by him as well. So yeah, after they come, Snake comes in. He sees that not only did Badger die, but everyone else here also is dead. Snake is pissed. I think how many people were here? Like 3 or 4 people. Everyone's dead. All the guards that were here. So Snake is even more pissed, and yeah, for him, he is definitely going to kill Gardar here. And Arnheid is also missing, so Arnheid will also probably have to face some consequences to this. So Snake immediately kind of investigates what happened to the sword, this and that, and he's like, let's go. We're going to hunt this guy down. There was no horses here, so he's not far off. We'll have to find him, and I'm going to kill him. And yeah, there you go. So that happens. Next we get to see is in the morning, Einar and Thorfinn is talking to each other, and I was like, I thought that Einar is definitely going to go and help Arnheid out, even if she said that you don't have to interfere in this, but it turns out Thorfinn was keeping awake just to see if Einar tries to go. But Einar is like, you don't have to worry about it, because Arnheid told me not to involve myself in this situation again, so I was not going to do that either way. And you can see that Thorfinn is thinking about the previous statement that he said, that he wants to take out war and slavery from this world. And he says, am I correct to try to change the world, because I'm the person who actually was one of them? So do I even have the right to do that? And you can see that Einar says that I doubt Arnheid knows that you were one of the warriors. So yeah, and Thorfinn says yeah, that is exactly what I'm afraid. I'm afraid of someone like her finding out about my past, because yeah, he is ashamed of his past, what he did. And he says that, what type of person was I, that I did so many cruel things without even batting an eye? That was the type of person I was. And Einar says that, you said that you're going to change this world, stop slavery, stop war. Is it even possible? You being in the other side, being one of the people who did all of this, you must have some kind of a clue as to what we are supposed to do. And Thorfinn says that, what I think is that war is the thing that we need to stop first, because the major the major reason why so many slaves are here is because of war. Yeah, obviously there are other reasons why slaves are slaves exist, like maybe someone who is very poor, poverty, maybe those are also small little reasons why people become slaves, but the majority of the reason is war. Because of war, so many people lose home, so many people lose their family, and yeah, they become slaves. And so what we need to do is we need to stop war. And like, okay, he also brings out the fact that they are Norsemen, like, and Vikings are people who think that war is everything, like the more enemies you kill and wealth you bring back home, the more you're respected. If you don't do those things, you are considered a coward. This is what the Nords have done since ancient times without questioning it. Yeah, and it's always difficult to stop doing what you think is natural, which is so true. Like, this is the way of life for the Vikings. Vikings think that dying, like dying on the bed, in peace. You're not going to Valhalla. Dying in the battlefield by fighting. Yeah, you're going to Valhalla. The Valkyries will come for you, and they're going to take you to Valhalla. That is the way of thinking for the Vikings, and this is something that is natural for them. So stopping to do something natural is something that is, like, the Vikings are never going to do. This is something that they will never be comfortable with. For them, fighting is like, I don't know, like breathing or something. So that's like the biggest, thing, biggest reason, yeah, why this is going to be tough. But Einar also says, but there are also men like you too, which is true. I'm sure, like, there are a few Norsemen like Thorfinn who knows, and, like, the downsides of war, and who also wants war to stop. Okay, so he also says that, like in Norse, in our culture, cowards don't, like people who don't fight are cowards. But then he also says that, what, it's better to be a coward than to be burdened by the people who are burdening me. And Einar's like, wait, who are you talking about? And he says, like, the dead. They're the ones who burden me every day. They drag me down, and I see their, cries, and they ask me, why have you killed me? And like, it's like, I don't want that anymore. And if I'm called a coward, I'm fine. I don't have any problem with it. At least I won't be bothered by the dead. And he's like, not only do I need to, like, stop fighting, but what I have to do is change the world. Like, not doing something that I've done up until now is not going to make me any better. What I need to do is do stuff which is going to perhaps negate what I've done before. But, like, no, it's never going to negate what I've done before, but at least I have to do something that makes that up and go beyond that, which is such a good, way of thinking. Like, he says, like, I've, destroyed so many farms, I've destroyed so many houses, burned them down. What I need to do is make more farms that I have destroyed, make more houses that I've, burned, and and help more people than the people whose life I've ruined. This is such a nice, what can I say, way of thinking. Like, I have to applaud this, because this is something I feel like everyone forgets when they talk about, making amends. They always forget that stopping something that you have done up until now, like, it's not going to do anything. You've done so many things, you're in the negative, and if you stop doing that, you will still be in the negative. What you need to do is make yourself better and do something positive, so that some way the positive negates the negative, and go beyond that. Do more positive stuff than the negative stuff that you have done. That is proper, that is proper atonement, or that is making amends. Not stopping what you've done up until now and not doing anything, but stopping what you've done up until now and doing something to better that situation, and going beyond that, beyond all the negative things that you've done. That is proper atonement, and that is proper making amends. And that is what Thorfinn is saying here. And I loved how, little by little, everything kind of goes towards Vinland. All the things that Thorfinn is saying here is, literally paving the path for going to Vinland. And he says that, Yeah, you cannot simply you cannot call simply not killing or destroying anymore atonement. Yeah. Okay, just a minute. I need to grow more wheat than I've trampled underfoot. uh, I need to rebuild more houses than I've burned down. There you go. And he says, like, obviously, I don't know if I'll be able to change the world, but little by little, like at least one village, if I'm able to wipe out war from one village at least, like that is possible, isn't it? And I really love how Thorfinn little by little understands what he needs to do. Obviously, he's not seeing these crazy grandiose dreams. He's thinking about everything little by little. Like he's like, yeah, obviously, I might not be able to change the world now, but I can at least change one village. Make more stuff, make more crops than I've destroyed, make more houses than I've destroyed. Help more people than I've ruined their lives, and yeah, at least one village I can help. And that is such a realistic goal, and I love how he comes to that realization. And then, like, one thing that Einar says that is something that I also had a thing, like, when I was also thinking about, and I was thinking, like, what would Thorfinn answer, how would Thorfinn answer this question that Einar asks, which is, but what about everyone else? You might be trying to change yourself, but what about the people who will try to mess with that? What about the Vikings if they come and attack our village that we're trying to wipe out war from? We will have to take weapons up. And this is something that I was also thinking about. I was like, what are you going to do when someone tries to attack you or your loved ones? Like, how are you going to protect them? Like, wiping out war, if that means that you're not going to help others protect others, it's going to lose all meaning, doesn't it? You literally just fodder for you just be there for people to come and take everything from you, and it'll all be over. So how is that possible that Thorfinn will not fight, but at the same time, he will also protect everyone? How is that possible? And I was thinking, and Einar asked this question, and there's an interesting thing that this kind of leads into, and Thorfinn kind of comes up with a solution to this, which is Vinland. And he says, Thorfinn says, like, yeah, obviously, taking up weapons because someone is attacking me will not really take out war from, like, what I want is like literally taking out war and not taking up weapons at all. But yeah, Einar is right. You're right. What will happen if someone attacks us? What am I going to do? So what he says that the only solution I can find is go somewhere far, far away when nobody knows that we are there. With a bunch of outcasts, we go to a very far away land where nobody knows we are there, and we live a peaceful life over there. With no war, and nothing of that sort. And like I said, everything paves towards the Vinland, like Vinland, and a land of outcasts. And then he remembers, I think this was that girl who gave food to Thorfinn in season 1, in the boat, where she says something like, no matter how far I go, it'll be the same as here. Yeah, it's her. She's the one who said that. I remember Thorfinn asked her, like, oh, how do you like yourself doing all of this? Working for all these people who don't really care about anything. If it was me, I'd just kill them all. That's what Thorfinn said, in season 1 to that girl. And that girl said that no matter how far I go, it'll be the same as here. So why bother? So here Thorfinn thinks of that, and Thorfinn says, gets reminded of Leif's words, far to the east, beyond the sea. Far to the east, beyond the sea. And they show the river, the ocean, beyond the reach of any authority, unknown to all slave traders. There is a land far beyond the horizon. Yeah, and Einar's like, wait, that place, something like that exists? And Thorfinn's like, yeah, my uncle Leif, he used to talk about all of that, about a fantastical place like that, a place which is incredibly far away, nobody knows its location, but at the same time, it's uh, is fertile, and it is a place where there's no war. And Einar is like, yeah, that is a very, crazy dream, but at least it is something. We at least have something to kind of like go towards. So there you go. That is what they decide. And yeah, and after that, obviously, Snake and everyone just comes here. Not Snake, sorry, Fat Fox. Fox and everyone comes here, and Aina's like, what the hell's going on? And they come in and it's like starts poking the hay bale, trying to find if Gardar is like hiding there, and Thorfinn realizes immediately that Gardar has escaped, and when he says that, obviously Einar is concerned. Einar is concerned about Arnheid, and later on we also kind of see Sverkel looking at Snake, and Snake is pissed off, just with his sword open. He's just waiting there, and that is where it ended. So there you go. Crazy episode, obviously. I cannot really comment what Gardar did here. He brought his own messy situation, his own misery onto Arnheid, and obviously Arnheid, being the person she is, she's not going to leave Gardar alone to fend for it on his own. She's going to follow him. So what Gardar did here was in no way commendable, especially literally after he apologized for what he did before. He does the same thing again, and that's what happened over there. Snake is pissed, and the next part was obviously Thorfinn talking about Vinland to Einar and talking about how he really wants to change the world, but he's going to start like taking baby steps. A village first, and that village should be in a place where nobody knows where it is. Obviously that is the only reason how you can wipe out war, because no one's going to come and attack you if you don't know where you are. If they don't know where you are, and something like that, and obviously doing this would mean like you're literally going to make like a little country or a little town, and filled with outcasts, and there's a lot of things to think about, but still this is something like at least like a goal we can see, and Einar is happy with that for now. And yeah, so there you go. That was beautiful. This was a really beautiful episode, especially Thorfinn's section. The way he little by little realized, what he should do, and the fact that stopping killing doesn't really mean anything. He needs to change what he did. He needs to make proper amends. He not only needs to stop what he did before, but he also needs to do something better to at least negate the stuff. Like obviously it is not possible to negate what you've done before, but at least do something to counter that. Like make more crops than you destroyed, make more houses than you've burned. That's not going to take out your sins. Definitely is not going to do that. Your sins will always stay with you, even if you try to do something better in the future. In no way will your sins get washed away, but at least you are doing something better now. You're trying to change the lives of the people, the people who the lives you're ruined. At least you're trying to change people's lives now. You're doing something good now. That is what making amends mean. And he has the correct way of thinking here. Stopping what you did before doesn't mean you're a better person. Doing something good now means that you're actually atoning for your misdeeds, and you're making a positive change. So yeah, that is it. So that was my reaction to episode number 15 of Vinland Saga season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Vinland Saga. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.